right, greetings, I'm joining us. All right, so it's like 24 hours until the new year. So I probably won't do a recording until like 12:30 or 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. So all right, so New Year's Eve, 2023. Maybe I should put 2022. Whatever. I just noticed that. Who cares? But either way, we're going into the new year. But I guess I have to change that. But either way, we're going into the new year, so upgrade energies. So it's a thought that counts. I just realized that it's been a long day. UFO sightings and Zeta Gray. So it's like if you're going to go into the new year, connect to the Zetas for some weirdness. So newborns, when babies are born, they look like little Zetas anyway. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So just bring in the little, some little Zeta love. So, so New Year's Eve. Well, it's actually, I guess the title of this does make sense. New Year's Eve, 2023 upgrade. So we'll just leave it that way. Because we're going into New Year. So technically, we're kind of already in that year already. I think so. Australia is going to go into the new year first, so that shouldn't be too. There's Christmas Island. Where's that? Christmas Island. Do they celebrate Christmas there all the time? I'm sorry, I never looked at that. Anyway. Yeah, Australia is the first ones to go into the new year. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but either way. So I guess people are partying and things like that, whatever that's going to be. I think I've done like 90% of my videos in this spot this year. How exciting. Usually I guess I go to Disney or something like that, so I get to do something a little bit differently. So I did some recordings and of the scenery there, but it wasn't anything to make a video about. So I wasn't feeling so good either. If I felt better, it would have been. It just wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. Oh well. So going to upgrade energies and not necessarily going into the predictions and all that. It's like, whatever. Just another day in the frying pan. Just work on your own frequency, connect more to your own higher dimensional self. Many are going into this whole discernment thing, and that's fine, but some are just lost. And so you need discernment. If you're lost, like super lost, what if you're lost and don't know that you're lost? That's even worse. But it's good to have discernment if you're like lost within lost, which is kind of common. I'll take that for wherever it is. So spirituality has some excitement, so many are grabbing onto that. And then they get kind of taken away. It's like the more exciting and and that's what many people get pulled into, and then they get lost. Like, was it the monetary system that's supposedly going to change? We see no signs of that. Probably not. The mass arrest things. I imagine there are mass arrests somewhere, but not public. There's always mass arrests somewhere. Doesn't mean that, the bad guys are going away. So, but the UFO sightings, there's been some stuff out there recently. I can show some of it actually. More than it doesn't mean it's anything, but more than usual, it seems. So, not that I pay much attention to it. But you can get swept into that also. So the New Year's Eve energy would connect to the spirit realms. Let's see what the spirit dimensions have to say. Doesn't mean everybody has to have the best experience of the spirit world. The spirit world's still learning and growing with us. And, we're part of timelines that, that just, we have to go with the timeline we agree on. So that's what makes things difficult. Like, why aren't things going my way? Or why isn't this happening, that happening? And there is if something happens in your life, we finally feel like you're happy, but you might not always know what it is. Some people feel like if this happened, I'll be happy. Yeah, who knows? You can go on and on with that one. probably a lot of confusion there. So, all right, going to go somewhere. I'm talking about my private sessions. We have the scheduler. We have the shop here. I'm still in November. I'm in December, in the middle of December, and I'm still in November. They have the upcoming events. I'm going to be doing channelings here, or always private sessions. I'm not going to be doing any of the talk stuff. I do enough talking anyway. I think I've had enough talkings for the last 25 times. Webinar next week, social networking behind the scenes. I have another social network, but I don't feel like showing everything here. All right, so what is the new year? Yeah, the more of the same. No, it's funny though. It should be at least in the New York City area. The weather should be quite decent for New Year's Eve. It's absolutely hilarious. You have the snowstorm, of the century last week, and this week everything's fine. Just so you can have your New Year's Eve. Maybe they'll just blast us again with weather anomalies next week. But for right now, things are looking good in that regard. So, no surprise there. All right. Okay, we're going to New Year's Eve energies, spirit realms, UFO sightings. Oh, yeah, that's right, the sightings. So there has been some stuff recently. Not that I'm going to go too deep into it. I think it's the right place. UFO-shaped cloud in California desert. Interesting. Palm desert. So I talked about this yesterday, and now we have that. I think it's getting more of a headline, actually, about it. I don't know what that's about. In South Korea, they have this situation, military fueled rocket. I guess that's, it's Korea. So you have that, which there probably is a UFO frequency there. And Las Vegas. So, yeah, things are, at least publicly, there's always sightings somewhere going on, but it's kind of interesting how it's probably going to be more of the same this year. The Phoenix Lights type of situation. They're probably not going to go to that level. One day they might, but I don't know. It's all part of the inner awakening. So, all right, going to spirit realms, see what they have to say about the new year, and go from there. All right, blessings. Greetings. We are from spirit. We are consciousness. Yes, not everybody agrees in our way of doing things. Yes, you have many agreements, constant agreements here, and we can't always go into the detail here in this reality. So many do feel like they're stuck. You're stuck for a reason. You're going more into sometimes it's like your life is like a parking lot. You just park and you sit there for a while. Doesn't mean that you're waiting, you're doing other things while you're parked, but there's just reasons for it. Yes, you can't go into details for everyone, but you park your frequencies for various different reasons. Now, some are in the relationship lifetimes or relationship timeline. but you're combining your energies with yourselves, and you don't necessarily need to go deeply into who you are. You might to a certain level, but you're actually combining your energies together. And eventually, those timelines can burn out, but they can also last forever. It's like a candle. You can keep the candle lit for as long as you want to. Yes, it might burn out, but then you can start a new flame and continue to go. So it all depends on what you want to do with it, or just change it out altogether and disconnect your flame from your twin flame and connect to someone else new. That's quite all right. So the reason why breakups are so difficult, of course, because you're used to that individual's energy, and sometimes that individual is vampiring your energy too, which makes things even more difficult. So if you have like a partnership that's literally vampiring your frequency, and you're so used to their energy field, breaking up is hard to do. It's hard to break away from someone like that. It's like, they want to break up. It's like, yeah, go over there, but they're still vampiring your frequency, which is not fair. So, which happens a lot. This individual. So basically, spirituality, yes, can get very confusing. Even the astral realms, spirit realms, can get confusing there too. So even it's not the same, but it's just there's hijackings, there's all kinds of things, especially around your world. There are planets that are, star areas where everything's calm. You can figure things out very easily. But around your planet, there's a shadow around it. There's conflict. And the spirit realms have conflict too. Not the same as your planets, but still. It still occurs. I mean, it's not to say you're going to spirit realms, it's just a war zone. No, not for some. They'd love that. But if you want to go to a peaceful place when you're leaving this world, you will. It doesn't mean it's going to be a manipulated reality. Now, some might need that for their growth, but for the most part, things are going to go somewhere very friendly. Some just need drama. They leave one drama lifetime for another. Some say they don't want to go through this timeline again, and then they end up doing it again because it gives them something to complain about. It's just like they complain about their spouse, their relationship being terrible for them. But if you had somebody that was nice, you probably hate that even more. But this person's terrible for me, yada yada yada. But then when you get somebody nice that cares about it, it's like, wow, this person is so dull and boring, and just I can't take it anymore. Just need somebody to complain about that's worthless to you. So reality is similar. The realities you go into is similar to relationships. It's a reflection of yourself. So you can go somewhere that's very helpful, very high frequency, but not everybody needs that. Some need conflict still, even in the astral realms. And some of you have already seen that. Now, it doesn't mean you have your own conflict. Everybody has their own version to a certain level, but some need conflict all the time. But think about those that are incarnated here right now that think like World War III is going to happen every couple of weeks. And then they leave this world. They think they're going to now some interesting find peace. Like they caused all these difficulties here in this reality. It's like World War III is going to happen. We're all going to blast smithereens. It never happens. And they go on and on like that for years. And then when it's time for them to go into spirit, they're quiet. They're nice. They're like another person. It's like, why didn't you do that on Earth? Because it was fun. It was fun doing it on Earth. In spirit realm, people will catch me on my BS. So, but it is a version of a growth. Some do need a chaotic frequency for their growth, and some don't want to hear that. So you just let the world do as it needs to do. Humanity will eventually figure this out. So basically, this world is just, your ascension is just basically figuring out how this reality is formed, why the world is the way it is. Some of you are getting a good idea of it to a certain level. You might not know all the details because you're not necessarily intended to. Doesn't mean now in the astral realm, most likely you have a good idea, but here in the physical realm, you don't always need to know. Not everybody knows in the astral either. there's mysteries there too. As for the upgrades that you're going through, it's knowledge. Knowledge can also bring healing. So knowledge about yourself, or just a calm frequency to just not worry. It's like, yes, I have stress, and stress is normal. Yes, we understand bills and all that. You're gonna have stress. Complete, but it's like a stress where you're worried about it, but you'll just go with it. Also, the worry is it's like worry also has like there's always gonna be a sense of worry, but that's you also climbing up the rope of life. I mean, it's just you feel better just worrying a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some just worry, they're just like they're not doing anything with their lives. But there's nothing wrong with having, of course, stress. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of that. Some do take when it starts affecting your health. That's when you want to calm things down. Yeah, there's healthy stress, there's healthy worry, and there's just and then there's unhealthy stress, unhealthy, and so on. So your upgrades are minimal. I mean, there's little things. There's no rush. Many want this upgrade so they can telepathically connect to everything. And yes, with the rest, now you might be able to do these things, to have your superpowers and all of that. And some of you know that. But this world is not asking for it. This world is still trying to find its keys to get into its car, or trying to figure out what. It's not even asking why. Most of humanity is not even asking what they're doing here. What they can get out of it. Yes, lifestyles of the rich and famous, some do want. But sometimes having the lifestyles of having nothing is better. Because you have the lifestyles of rich and famous, talk about drama. And talk about being a target also for some. Sometimes just being invisible is better. I mean, you're visible to certain people, then you're invisible altogether. So many do practice invisibility here. It's like you're here, but you don't want any conflict. So you disappear from that timeline, which is good. So your upgrade is basically, yes, you figuring out more about yourself. So, blessings. Greetings to you. We are alien consciousness, basically alien realms of all realms. We're just going to get to the consciousness of that. As for UFO sightings, well, that is to give you a hint of what is here, of course. Now, many of you can handle a mothership appearing in the skies, and yes, getting on that ship and then flying away, which many of you would like to. Now, there are most likely realities where that does exist, but this world needs you right now. Now, if everyone just jumped on their ships and just flew away, that wouldn't do this world much good. But be able to have a alien experience, this helps at a certain level. But yes, is the alien experience beneficial for you? Now, some will say yes, and the aliens say no. It's like, as much as you want your alien experiences, many of them just like, we'll connect to you in the astral. But for UFO sightings, that is most of that's opened up those of the physical realm. Those that are very physically connected are just, it's to break them out of their shell, but slowly. So, because many of them, I would call them the common people, however, what's the word? They don't looking for an alien, but it is fascinating when one happens. But then they go back to their lives, because their life is what they're trying to sculpt. And the alien timeline. Now, some of you are very connected to the alien timelines, and some of you are orchestrating those sightings. You might not always be able to tap into it. But if you feel like you're involved with it, most likely you are. Now you're in the ground crew. It's like, yeah, it's like, hey, that I think I was part of that sighting. And you probably were. And you might even have a version of you on that ship. But this is where the fight is, as you can see. Now, as you get older in age, the fight does get less and less. It's like, okay, you've been through enough. We're going to start giving you things to help you have some calm. Not everybody goes for that. Some just need conflict. But for those of you that don't, that there's nothing wrong with conflict. It's like to see what your soul is capable of. While you're here, you might as well sort some things out and work out timelines. It's all good. Do what you must do. Yeah, it's like a recipe. You're actually improving yourself greatly. Nobody's going to tell you that you're doing it because that's kind of ruins the surprise. But in the higher astral, you make sure you're doing what you need to do. And the locations where you live have a lot to do with it. It has the frequencies of it. It's like, yes, and some of you are planted in certain place, meaning you're sent, you agree upon it, like this is your orders, and this is where you need to be. And some of you are by Air Force bases. And that's kind of a clue of your galactic connection. Now, I realize many do live by Air Force base, but some of you feel like, this is kind of strange. Why am I by this Air Force base? This doesn't make any sense. Most are going to ask that. I just go about there every day. But others of you that are awakening to your alien energies, it's like, it's very strange I'm by this Air Force base. I must be doing something with it astrally. And definitely, yes, to take it to another level. Some of you do have alien aspects of you connecting to that Air Force base, possibly. Usually it's in the fourth dimension, but you can connect to it in the physical realm. Some of you might also have another aspect of you, even as an alien being, once again, connecting to the Air Force base. The Air Force base is aware of it. And it's funny that the military energy, as much as they think they have everything hidden in secret, the aliens can figure things out pretty easily. All they have to do is look. If they want to know what the humans are doing, they just go look. Especially when it comes to the military, especially when it comes to blowing the world up. They kind of want to know about those things before it occurs to make sure it doesn't happen. So they know days about it, weeks. When that thought comes in, a military, someone high up that they want to cause trouble on this planet, was using nuclear weapons. Trust me, the aliens are fully aware of it. And yeah, they get, aliens get like, you say, a galactic email on it every day. So all this that's happened, yes, we realize your health issue that happened in 2020, that was kind of like a stand down for a lot of alien beings, and some alien beings didn't know what was going on. It was just part of what had to happen on the Earth Collective. There was alien assistance, but a lot of it was just to let what must be. Because even aliens that are trying to help can be blocked. So I think I was like, and there's many situations that have been blocked in the past, but some things must just occur. It's not always supposed to make sense in this reality. As for UFO sighting energies, once again, yes, what ship are you on this coming year? Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Zetas. Blessings. So we just keep our message short. We are connected to human health to assist with it. Of course, others might disagree with that, but we are part of helping you through this incarnation. Now, one thing, your military is well aware of us as alien beings. They are. Of course, you have to be a top-ranking, soldier, and so on. It's kind of like an open secret. It's not something they go around having meetings with or the president. Far from it. But the alien secret. It's not much of a secret, but it is. It's not something that is have meetings on. Just you know, they don't put on CNN one day. Far from it. Now they're just trying to shut people up about UFO sightings. But yes, they might use more human crafts in the future. They don't know what they're doing right now. But for one of the reasons why you're dealing with chemtrailing, just the food manipulation, at least in the U.S., has a lot to do with the UFO, even for aliens being here. Because it's there to lower your frequency. Yes, it's there for population control, but most of it is just kind of keep you clamped down. If you're going to be here, you're going to be under their ruling, those that are running your society, for now. It's just that until your government gets more of an idea of what it's dealing with, because many are afraid of the alien energies. They know alien beings are incarnate here, and the military wants to have a hold on that, which they don't. Yes, it's my labs, but they still don't have a control over it. So all these crazy beings are incarnating all the time. As some of you know, some of you don't go. You go into the My Lab, you break free from the My Lab. Obviously, the My Lab's not too happy about that. And then you're constantly fighting them, then eventually shut them down, and so on. That shows if you have My Lab experience, you're definitely an alien energy for sure. Well, because you just have like an open lobe, like your crown chakra is open, and just your sensitivity is open to and then also you've dealt with them before in some regard. They're not going away anytime soon. No, but the military right now does not understand alien life. That's what we might think. Not really. And so, yes, there's rumors about it. They are trying to do fake alien invasions. They like using social media just to screw with people's minds and to just get people, get the mind wandering, get the mind to think. And that gives also the government an idea of things to do to screw with humanity also. They know how the mind works at a certain level, and they know what triggers it. And usually the fear energy, basically the government is seen as evil. So of course they're going to do all these evil things, and then nothing really happens. Of course, you have your chemtrailing energies that need to be healed, and manipulation of the food needs to be healed. But once again, they're scared. You can say your government currently is kind of scared of humanity. It's not all governments are. Some they just do whatever you want. But the U.S. government is not healthy mentally. It's your shadow government. Until it eventually starts to heal its paranoia. Because it is scared of losing its power, actually. So it's a war on the people through food. And it's just, yes, you might have a major military force, but there's a lot of incompetence there too, and they know it. They know they're vulnerable and weak to its people. Not to say you need to go to war with them or anything like that, but your military really does not understand humanity at all. Not really. Some might say they do. Not really. They're paranoid. They're truly the most paranoid nations on the planet. Yes, they might put on a big show like how tough they are, but inside there's paranoia. I don't care what kind of generals you have. They have all the stars, whatever planted on them. They're still terrified. It's there. They might act all calm and all that, but not that they're scared of the people, but just in general, the big picture. It's just that they don't know how to. Once they start clearing out their paranoia, when they're just like, oh, you can just go live your life and we won't mess with you anymore. They're not quite there yet. They're doing the spying and everything. Of course, they're causing a lot of these problems. They know that. They're causing it. Yes, they're causing a great deal. They light the fire. Let's put it that way. And they don't care. It's like a child that does all these terrible things and then doesn't. It's like, I didn't do it. We didn't do that. It's really like a big kid. It really is. It's just, even children can be very vicious, and that's the same as your government system. Extremely vicious. So healing the paranoia of your government. So they stop messing with you on a health level. Let your bodies take their original form, meaning that you don't have to pollute your foods and things like that. Because even health foods are messing with that too, of course. It's just it's just for right now. I mean, right now it can still go on for quite some time. They're not quite done with it just yet. Once again, they truly are trying to figure out humanity. They don't have it down. And so they just figure if the society is more restrained, tired out, can't think clearly, that's a good thing for them. You want to go to work, don't go to work. Who cares? As long as you're out of their business. But some of you are becoming powerful remote viewers, more spiritually connected, and obviously government's not too proud of that. Of course, they have their own remote viewers and not that sophisticated to a certain level, but some of you can actually be more advanced than that. And so, yes, they have a vicious side, of course. Yes, they talk about themselves in Stranger Things to a certain level. They have to expose themselves to some level. But your universities, your Harvards, your Penn State, there's other schools. Yeah, they're mostly Harvard, but either way. There's like deep within these universities are a conversation about alien talks, so-called security, military security, supposedly. Until they get their clear out their paranoia, but they realize their timeline's not going to be here forever. So it's not that it's going to die out in your timeline, but it can only last forever when they do this. And more leaks will come out eventually about the government, how corrupt they are. And that's another thing, is just them trying to keep themselves from being exposed. But they're kind of like, they're very amateurish in all of this. As alien vibrations, we just have to let what needs to be. We can't interfere too much. But if they have aliens roaming around your society, humans will adapt to it easily, and it won't be a big deal. But obviously, their agendas, technology agendas, to just control agendas. And of course, they're not going to let us through too soon just yet. They're going to deny our existence forever. But obviously, many of you find that absolutely hilarious. And they know it. Yes, your government is turning into a laughing stock. It's vicious, but it's still a laughing stock. And will continue to do so until they finally let down their guard. So, blessings.